Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Musical Talk. My name is Nick Hudson. Short but sweet episode this week. We are going to be sharing a review of Waitress that Andrew Keating and I saw, and then we're going to have a very short new feature from Michael Shapiro, where he will be talking about his musical The Bully Problem, which has just completed a very successful fundraiser, which he will tell you about. So let's talk about Waitress. Andrew, I am sat here in the Adelphi Theatre. Hello.
Hello, Nicholas.
How are you?
All right, Nicholas. My favourite thing so far is we arrived at the theatre and I rushed straight to look at the picture of Jesse Matthews hanging on the wall. Your response was?
Who's he? So, tell me first, who is Jesse Matthews then?
Jesse Matthews is Jesse Matthews.
And she haunts this theatre?
Allegedly, yes. We haven't seen her.
No,
Maybe later.
We are here to see Waitress, which is a musical about which I know absolutely nothing. You've seen the film, haven't you?
Many, many years ago. And it's one of those films where I'm not very good with plots anyway.
Yeah.
I might remember whether I liked it or didn't like it.
I'm guessing it's about a waitress and pies.
It's very much about a waitress.
I mean, I feel we're sat here in American Pie the musical, which could use the same set.
I could imagine with your theme park head on how excited you were and how you probably were dying to use the word immersive as we walked in.
It hits you like a pie smell.
What hits you?
The smell of pie. It's like being at London Dungeon.
So they are pumping out the smell of pies, a bit like an upmarket Jorvik Viking Centre.
Or Main Street, USA, which does the same thing.
Yes.
The same smell pod,
so
probably.
The smell of pies. And
they do sell pies as well. You can't just smell them, you can sell them.
And we didn't bring our own pie.
No.
Sorry, we're here.
So tell me about the film.
I don't remember it. As I said, I remember I liked it.
You said it was in the same year as Hairspray.
I think it was about 2007, 2008, something like that.
Oh, because when you told me it was the same year as Hairspray, I think you meant the original Hairspray. So it's a lot newer than I thought it is.
It's a noughties film. It's a noughties film.
And we're got Catherine McPhee in it tonight, who famously didn't win American Idol.
Neither did I.
No, but she's a bigger star than you are, with a slightly better singer voice. Also famous for Smash, and thus Bombshell, the Marilyn Monroe musical. Did you watch Smash?
No.
You quite liked Smash.
I have done?
It's a kind of guilty pleasure.
Is it finished now?
Yes, it only ran for 2 seasons, and it's very entertaining. It has some good original songs by Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman and Pasek and Paul of dear Evian Hansen fame. But
Evan,
sorry.
Are they sponsored now?
Yeah, Hansen, the band.
Hansen.
So we're kind of looking at spinning pies wrapped around a Fusini March, and Sarah Bielas has done
I just realised they were pies. I thought they were lights.
No, they're pies.
It's like I can't see for looking. That doesn't bode well, does it? I mean, what are these strange shapes moving about? Oh, they're actors.
Glad I'm more observant than you, Andrew. Do you know any of the songs in this piece?
No, I don't know anything. Is there a hit song?
Don't know. It's written by a pop songwriter, so I think you might quite like the poppiness of it.
Does that make us a good or a bad audience? We don't really know what to expect.
The question is, do pop songs mean it's going to be a good or bad musical? That's the thing we need to discuss, which we'll let you know in the interval. But Andrew, thank you for joining us, and we'll speak to you after Act 1.
Thank you, Nick.
So Act 1 of Waitress is over. You wouldn't have realised what ended Act 1 was an Act 1 ending, would you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, it wasn't very showy. It was just kind of two people. Anyway, we won't spoil anything if you haven't seen it. Andrew and I.
Everything can be defying gravity.
Exactly. Andrew and I are brand new to this musical. I think we're enjoying it very much, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. We've come back out to the foyer to smell the apple pie scent
yes,
again.
We haven't walked out. We're not leaving. No. So it's better than Denise Van Housen's one-woman show. It took me a while to get into it. Did you find that as well?
I was having flashbacks to the film then, thinking, oh, maybe I do remember this slightly better than I thought I did.
The story that you don't know is essentially Jenna is a very hard-working waitress who's a talented maker of pies, working in a small-town American diner, and she discovers that she's pregnant. We're not going to read too much away by revealing that.
And the naming of the pies is very important.
Yes.
The pies always relate to things that are going on, life events, how she feels about things.
I will say the band is very nice. They are on stage as part of the set, which is very good. And there's more set than I thought there would be. There's lots of things coming in and going out and coming down and stuff like that. I think the music takes a bit of getting used to, but now I appreciate the sound and the style of it. It's not as bad as the opening number is, which I thought was pretty weak.
There was a pre-opening number.
Oh, there was.
There was some announcement to turn off your mobile phone.
Still doesn't work, did it?
No, there was a mobile phone going off, but their ringtone did almost fit in with the music that was going on. It's quite nice, yes, as a counterpoint.
We have quite a good villain in this show, who is Jenna's husband, and there's quite a lot. I mean, it's quite hard hit. There's lots of people gasping around me, which is quite nice.
Gasping?
Yeah, ooh, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not you, actually.
Yeah, I didn't gasp. No
what bits did you enjoy? What bits have you not enjoyed?
I think between the three main waitresses, there's some lovely harmony work going on. There's nice three-part harmonies.
There was some nice allegories going on between the constructing of pies and what's going on with the characters. For example, making a pie more beautiful and the ingredients you put into it. We're having one of the secondary characters, she's got to be made up to go on a date and things, so that's quite clever. And since Sweeney Todd, I've never heard so many songs about pies. It's quite nice.
There's a lot more songs about pies in this musical. It's certainly the top pie musical in the West End.
Now you've seen the first half of the show and the film is coming back to you, do you remember any other plot that you didn't know an hour ago?
That would be spoiling it. I'm trying to think, well, do I remember the ending of the film? And was it positive or negative?
Hopefully it's positive.
Well, I'm thinking the word bittersweet, but you know.
Bittersweet pie.
Bittersweet pie. We'll see. I think the thing I enjoyed most, and actually I think got the best reaction tonight, was the comedy number near towards the end of Act 1, with one of the lesser.
Ogie.
Yeah, one of the other waitresses who seems to find the love of her life. Because again, you've got the contrast between that seems to be a very free and easy relationship, almost straight off the bat, rather than the main relationship, which is all rather strained with the boyfriend who's not very nice. Husband, sorry. Yes, husband.
I think Catherine McPhee is very good as well. She's played the part on Broadway, so she's not new to this role. Liverpool was mentioned. I wonder if that was made reference for this English production. I don't know. Do you think that some of the jokes aren't going down as well with the British audience? How do you see this musical resonating with the British crowd? Because it's extremely American, isn't it, this show?
How would you define extremely American? What does that mean?
Well, it's all very homegrown, very Americana, very... the music is very root rock, if that makes sense. It's not Bruce Springsteen in a way, but it's very...
Countryish songs,
yeah.
Yes. Well, it's set in a diner, so that's... But at least we're right next to a fake diner.
Yes, you'd think they would have brought over it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they thought they'd be advertising here, the diner, but no. Well, the setting is American, but the idea of her being an unhappily married woman who's become pregnant, who actually is kind of trapped in this relationship she doesn't want to be in. Well, that's not... With dreams, yeah. To have dreams, it's not exclusively
Dream,
American.
A Wonderful Dream, that's another show playing down the road.
So the settings around it are, the story isn't necessarily. You wouldn't set it in a greasy spoon. I don't know. Would you?
Could do. That's what's great about it, isn't it? That's
what
you're saying. It's such a universal story. You could set it in a greasy spoon. I just wonder if some of the jokes aren't going down.
You could set it in a greasy spoon and do it as a Lionel Bart style score. Is that what we're doing? Kind of setting a
pies like what they used
cafe,
to be.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that too? Or are you kind of...
I think you're looking forward to the karaoke afterwards, Nick. Will you be singing?
Yes, we have to mention that. There is... I've never seen this happen before. You get to sign up if you want to come on with the cast at the end and sing some of the songs in the show, which is quite a nice idea.
Half-album karaoke. But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things around the theatre to try and engage people. So
all the ushers have waitress uniforms on, which is quite nice.
Yes,
the smell, obviously.
Yes, they've got kind of a selfie stand that you can stand on and look like you're standing behind the bar of the diner.
And this is the second show I've seen in my life in a week that has smells featured.
What was the other one?
Ghost stories.
What was the smell in Ghost Stories? Not pie.
Bleach.
Oh, or death. Smell of death.
Fetid bodies.
The thing I liked, and I don't know if we mentioned it earlier, was did we mention the guest checks?
No.
So on the wall in the foyer, people can leave their reviews on kind of replica guest checks that you'd find in a real diner, which I thought was a really nice. That's a really nice little touch. They are vetted, I think. You're not allowed to kind of put up.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
It's not terrible.
No. But I thought it's a really nice touch. There's a lot of stuff. It's almost like it's designed completely for social media, isn't it? It's like take your selfie here, write your review.
Well, Kinky Boots did that here as well. A lot of Matilda had the blackboards, if you remember that.
Yes, I do.
So that's not a new thing. But what is new here is the smell, is the ushers in costumes. It's almost theme parky, isn't it, Andrew?
Well, it's trying to get you in the mood for what it's setting the scene.
Yeah.
From the very second that you walk in.
So we'll let you know what we think of Act 2 once it's over. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, Act 2 is over.
And indeed the show, Nick. There's no Act 3.
The show is sort of over.
Oh, actually, no. There's the karaoke.
Yes, but it's a bit late for us, so we're not as young as some of the audience are. But it's a wonderful idea on a Wednesday, which is often considered the kind of difficult show.
Well, thinking about the social media thing as well, at the end of the finale,
yes,
or the curtain call rather.
During the curtain call.
During the curtain call, you have big signs held up that actually are encouraging you to take pictures,
film it,
share it, tweet it, Instagram it.
So it's very modern in that aspect, isn't it? And I've always wondered why shows so against people taking photographs in curtain calls.
I don't know.
When all people want to do is say, I saw this show tonight, it was great.
Yeah, and go like, oh look here, because yes, it's promotion in that sense.
And it's free promotion.
It's free promotion, yes.
Did you know the ending when we were chatting in the interval?
I did use the word bittersweet earlier, didn't
Yes.
I? Do you think that's a fair description?
Well, it depends if she was going to enter the pie making contest, lose, and not have the money to put towards her child. So
there is some. I think it's nice in that it doesn't go for the obvious.
Yes.
Obvious happy ending. So does that mean it's a miserable ending? No, but
it's a realistic ending.
It's maybe a more
a less selfish ending.
Yeah. Act 2 had the bigger songs in the. I am going to use my big singing voice now. Songs. There are at least 2 of those in Act 2.
Wonderful 10 o'clock-ish number. They're a bit early to be a 10 o'clock number, I think. But Andrew was mouthing at me, it's an 11 o'clock number. It used to be an 11 o'clock number when shows started later, but it's considered a 10 o'clock number now because the show starts earlier.
Oh.
So, yes, Catherine McPhee gets to show off her chops. Exceeding, I mean, that got a massive reception, didn't it, that song?
It did.
As did Marisha Wallace, whom we're going to hear in next week's episode, talking more about Waitress. Both beautiful songs. The score wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I didn't think it was going to be bad. That's an odd thing. Why?
Well, I've tried to listen to the cast recording a couple of times, and it's never really grabbed me. Yes, it had lots of duff rhymes in it, but I'm used to that nowadays. It's not as bad as the show that used to play here, I'll say that. But
I mean, there were a couple of things. There were a couple of songs that maybe I thought, actually, that we probably don't.
Well, you didn't like the one the old guy sung, did you? You said they could have cut that. I quite liked it. It reminded me of Bojangles.
Did it? I just
by
kind
John
of thought
Denver.
that's like probably a 30-second speech, strung out into a song, whereas it's like, we could just crack on with that.
And there were some moments where there could have been songs, like in Act 1 when they were having their husband and Jenna and her horrible husband were having an argument. I thought there could have been a song earlier in that scene.
But I would say, as a strength, the majority of the songs fit the show. And it's not like taking something like taking The Greatest Showman, where those songs could be from absolutely anything and could go in all sorts of places.
And the show has a voice, and they're very good storytelling songs. So that's why they're not as bad as I thought.
I mean, looking at the feedback wall as well.
Oh, you're still going on about this feedback wall?
I am obsessed by the feedback wall.
It's like an old-fashioned version of a Facebook wall, isn't it?
It is. There seems to be a lot of repeat visitors.
Yeah.
And it's a younger audience, I think. It feels like it's...
a cult show, do you think?
Not sure. I think, you could strip it right back. It doesn't necessarily need to be a big show. You could easily tour it, have it in
But you said
places.
something to me very interesting. You said this is more of an off-West End show.
You could see it in the other palace, couldn't you? Somewhere like that. It doesn't need a lot of whistles and bells.
No, it doesn't have a lot of whistles. I mean, the set is a bit showing off, I think, saying, look what we can do. We have spinning
You've got the
pies and
space.
things.
You've got the space, you might as well fill it. Do you need it? No, you don't, necessarily.
No, it's but like Wicked, you could say something about that. Wicked essentially has...
No, you need the big crane, don't you?
You could just stand on a chair.
Yeah, she could just jump high.
Yeah, but what I mean is it's not 15 characters that we care about. There's 3, effectively, with a couple of, male
Well, a
parts.
bit more than 3, yes. Yeah.
I like the fact that it's very female-based, which is always very, lots of musicals do that
the
very
male
well.
characters are kind of, the secondary.
9 to 5 does that as well.
This does it much better than 9 to 5.
Have you seen 9 to 5?
Yes.
Any good?
That's still over the road, isn't it?
It is, yes. It might be next for us.
Do you think, no, thank you.
Are you interested to go and watch the film?
Again?
Now you've seen...
No, I feel like I've had my fill. I've had my fill of pie-based drama and puns. The one earworm it left me with was the sugar, butter, flour, which is
like
a motif.
Yeah.
Kind of going all the way through.
But you said it reminded you of...
Well, we started singing Sugar Sugar by the Archies, so I think it got that in our
There
heads.
was a 60s-ish song in that too, wasn't there?
There's a couple of numbers there.
The secondary comedy couple were getting married, and I like the fact
and they're great fun. They're really, really good fun.
It's also quite old-fashioned in that respect, like Woolman's Rogers and Hammerstein, where you have the kind of comedy couple, and you have the straight couple, and you have the "we shouldn't be in love, but we are" kind of song. So it does have its roots in traditional musical theatre, which is very good. And I liked
and the dodgy husband.
Yes.
Like in Carousel. It's not quite a domestic violence musical, but there are shades.
It veers towards it, though, isn't it?
It veers heavily towards it, yeah.
He beats a guitar up. That's quite offensive.
The stunt guitar. He doesn't break the guitar. No. They don't break a guitar every night.
But I like the fact that we have choreographed baking, which is always nice.
Yes, choreographed baking. And
there's a sort of trio of... not a Greek chorus, but there was a kind of trio of ensemble people that do... Oh, the karaoke has started.
And the pie smell's turned off.
And we have to mention that there is a little child in this piece who gets a wonderful entrance. And she plays... we won't reveal who, but it's very, very sweet. Andrew, thank you very much for joining me for Waitress and appearing again on Musical Talk. Have you on again soon. My thanks to Andrew there, and you can, of course, go and see Waitress yourself. It's playing at the Adelphi Theatre on the Strand, and you can visit waitressmusical.co.uk. Catherine McPhee, who was wonderful in it, is in it until June, and next week we're going to be having an interview with Marisha Wallace, who plays Becky. Next up, we have a little tiny feature from Michael Gordon Shapiro, where he will be discussing a new tiny feature that he is going to be doing for us, where he charts the history... Never mind. Here's Michael to explain it better than I will.
Hello, Musical Talk listeners. This is Mike Shapiro. You most frequently encounter me on this show as an interviewer of others, but today I am going to be interviewing myself. Or more accurately, today begins my short series of diary-style segments sharing with you the process of bringing my musical, The Bully Problem, to the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Now, the Hollywood Fringe, as you might guess, is Los Angeles' local spin-off of the Mothership Fringe in Edinburgh. Out here, we put the word fringe before the word festival, and we have much nicer weather. I will actually have a lot more to say about this festival in a future Musical Talk episode. But for now, a bit about the show that I'm actually putting on. It's called The Bully Problem, and is by yours truly, meaning that I wrote music, book, and lyrics. It's a family-friendly musical, roughly analogous in tone to something like Matilda, and it's about a group of school kids who decide to take on the bullies at their school with the help of a robot bodyguard. It's mostly fun, but it drops in a few messages about the importance of standing up for yourself and why robots are cool and other topics to which we can all relate. You can learn lots about this show by going to the website, which is thebullyproblem.com. So, having written this show, I now have the wonderful fortune of having it produced, and have made the tactical mistake of becoming a co-producer. As a creative person, this is something you want to avoid at all costs, but here I am. Fortunately, I have the support of the lovely and experienced people at New Musicals, Inc., as well as my fabulous director, Joanna Sayak, all of who know what they're doing. Hence, the show is in pretty good hands. So, where do we stand in the process right now? Well, we've secured our venue, the Broadwater Main Stage in Hollywood, and we've just finished a long process of auditions where we've winnowed down our cast from a surprisingly long list of great candidates. The total cast size is looking like around 16, so egad. A final note for now is that we are on the last stages of our fundraiser, which is an attempt to defray some of the heart-stopping costs of putting on a musical. So if you feel theatrico-philanthropically inclined, you are warmly encouraged to visit fundraiser.thebullyproblem.com, no www. We have a rather entertaining fundraiser video, if I don't say so myself, which, among other things, features me being tackled to the pavement in a way that resulted in non-trivial injuries. So if you've ever wanted to see that, now's your chance. That is all for this diary segment. Stay tuned for some additional looks behind the scenes as we bring this show to its opening night at the Hollywood Fringe. Do visit us online at thebullyproblem.com, which has all the expected links to Instagram and other social media. Till then, this is Mike Shapiro signing off.
And we look forward to that feature coming up from Michael. Do join us next week where we will be talking to Marisha Wallace from Waitress. Until then, have a lovely week and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. For more information about Musical Talk, please visit our website at musicaltalk.co.uk. You can email us at feedback@musicaltalk.co.uk, listen to past episodes on iTunes and YouTube, and follow our social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.